Hi, this is Larry London. Welcome to the Voice of America to Border Crossings. We've been listening to the music of Ellie Goulding, who is in our studios today, and she's here because she's got a brand new CD that's out. It's called Lights. We welcome you to Washington.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
The CD's doing great, and I watched you on Saturday Night Live a few weeks ago.
Yes, I was very nervous.
Nervous? Why?
Because I knew how many people were watching, and I was with Tina Fey, who I idolise, and it was like a huge deal for us. So we were all kind of nervous, weren't we? But it went well, I think. It went okay.
It went very well.
Yeah.
Very well. You're absolutely gorgeous, and your music is lovely. And why don't you introduce us to the guests who we've brought with us today?
So the oldest member out of these two of the band is Chris. Well, I mean, oldest as in been in the band the longest.
41.
Yeah, he's not. And then Max joined us soon after, and Max plays keys and mostly keys and guitar, and Chris plays everything on stage. He's like so talented.
You're a
I hate
utility
him.
musician.
Yeah.
He does everything. I understand that you also play a lot of musician pieces. You play the drums, the piano.
No, I dabble in drums a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I played clarinet for a long time,
Right.
and now guitar is like my. I mean, these boys probably in their head thinking, "Oh God," because I'm a female guitarist, which means I will never quite be as good as these boys. But I get by.
Well, you sound great, and the music that you write and the music you perform is really wonderful. I mean, this is your first full studio album, although you've done a re-release of it in the UK, but this
Yeah.
is the first time in the United States. It's called Lights.
Yes, that's right.
And you're working on another album, I read somewhere.
Yeah, we re-released Lights as Bright Lights in the UK shortly before your song came out, and then I'm kind of starting to write the second record, which is really exciting, and hopefully that'll be out by the beginning of next year. So let's see.
It's wonderful to have someone from England on the show. We've had Adele on the program before. Tiny Temp has been on the show before, and I know that you and Tiny Temp are well acquainted with one another. Now, one thing I want to touch on, and not make it a downer from the beginning, but another British superstar who passed away over the weekend, Amy Winehouse. Were you friends with Amy? Because you were.
I didn't know Amy personally, but I was really sad. We were all really sad. In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, we were YouTubing her when she first performed on Jules Holland, and it's such an incredible performance. I think it's the first time that all of us really recognised her as something very unique, and she paved the way for a lot of artists, including myself. And I used to sing her songs around the house constantly, and I'm just really sad. And I actually dedicated a song to her the other night when I was playing in Atlanta. So yeah, I mean, I just hope she's in a good place.
Yeah, it's always sad when we lose, a talented individual, especially at such a young age, 27.
I know.
But, we've had a lot of British artists who have been making an impact in the last couple of years, especially now with Adele being #1 in the UK charts for, 18 weeks, I think it is, and Tiny Tempa's album doing so well.
I think in the UK, actually, I think Amy's album has gone back into the top 10. I think it may even be #1 at the moment. But yeah, like artists like I'm sure Adele and other singers can count Amy as one of their big influences.
Mm-hmm. And this year in particular seems to be a big year for female artists. Beyonce, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Ellie Goulding. I mean,
Thanks for putting me in that category.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I all of those the singers that you mentioned, I am obsessed with all of them. So I think there's a really nice kind of like Katie has tweeted about me before, and Rihanna and other singers that I really, really look up to. So it's just really nice, this kind of this union of singers rather than like rivalry or anything. So it's really nice.
Now, you're out on tour for the album. Is this your first American tour?
This is my second. I think we came over and did like LA and New York the first time around, and then the second time was 6 weeks, and it was pretty brutal tour. We struggled with that one, but we got through it, and then I just wanted to come back. Like as soon as I got home, I was like, okay, well I want to go back. So here we are, and we're psyched to be here.
Now, what's the difference that you've noticed? The main difference between an American audience and an audience back home?
They're
louder.
They're louder.
They let you know.
Yeah, they let you know. They're more energetic. They're more kind of. like I absolutely love my fans in the UK. Like they are the best fans. They do so much for me. But here it's just kind of a different kind of atmosphere. It's not saying it's necessarily better, but it's just different.
Now, have you done much international touring beyond the UK? Have you
Uh,
performed in
we
Africa or the Middle East?
I actually haven't. I would love to, but I haven't yet. I'm hoping that'll be something that I can do for my next record. But at the beginning of the campaign for the first record, we were kind of going to Europe, and I think we were like in Germany for a night. Then we were in like I don't know, like Holland, and then we were like everywhere. Just doing little acoustic things, and just we didn't actually do any like we went to Australia and did some acoustic stuff, but we didn't actually do a show there. But we've been to quite a few places now.
Well, it's that's the harder part of the job that a lot of people don't realize is you're always traveling, you're always on the road.
It sounds really like glamorous and fun, but it can be quite grueling.
Right, up in the morning for radio shows.
Yeah, but actually, I came down this morning and these guys were like, "Wow," because I don't, like I put a dress on and high heels, and it's not usually like me. I'm usually like I come down like I've got my beanie on and I look tired. But I was up early. I got an early night. I was up early and I felt good this morning. So
Well, you look great.
thank you.
You look very energized and ready to go. Now we're going to talk more with Ellie about her connection to Prince William, and I know you were at the wedding, but we'll talk about that in just a bit. First, I'd like to ask if you wouldn't mind doing a song for us.
Well, I have this song that I really like called Guns and Horses. I'm just going to take a sip of water.
Sure. It's Ellie Goulding, and the new album is called Lights. Very nice. Very nice. Ellie Goulding is our guest on The Voice of America from the album Lights. And this past year, last couple of years actually, has been very big for you. The BBC poll that you just won, the Breakthrough Artist, and also the Brit Award, Critics' Choice Award. You're the first ever artist to win them both in the same year. So
Yes.
how's that feel for you?
Pretty good, yeah. That it was such a long time ago now. I feel like it was a long time ago. So much has happened since then that it kind of feels like it's something in the past. But at the same time, it was a very big honor, and I've been kind of performing for a while, so it wasn't like I just sort of burst onto the scene. I was doing it for a while behind the scenes by myself.
When people call you breakthrough artist, and you have been doing this for 10 years, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah, well, people have been calling me breakthrough artist here, and it's crazy. It's really mad because obviously I just got here, whereas I've been doing it for a while in the UK.
And you're also nominated for a couple of Brit Awards.
I was nominated. I was nominated for quite a few awards actually the last year.
The Glamour Award you won.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know your stuff, yeah. That was a breakthrough award. So yeah, it's crazy.
Now you write your own music. Correct? Yeah. And so as a songwriter, you've been writing since, I guess, 9. And do you ever look back at the first songs that you wrote now? And what are your thoughts when you look at your early stuff? Terrible stuff?
Yeah. I had a song when I was about 15, and it was just terrible. I will never, hopefully no one will ever hear it because, well, I mean, I guess it's kind of sweet. Like I was a very kind of, I was already in love by the time I was like 11 with someone. So like when I got to 15,
kind of love,
I was just like, oh, woe is me, and like I was writing all these love songs. So, but it is pretty awful. But
what inspires you when you're writing? Do you look at life around you and other people, or is it things that you yourself have gone through, or a combination?
Yeah, it's things I go through. I guess like I think things I think quite kind of deeply sometimes, and I'm always, I don't know, I'm always just kind of sat quietly thinking about stuff, and I guess part of it was my curiosity as to whether other people thought the same thing. So a lot of my songs I ask questions and I just talk about things, but also you have this kind of obsession with love and with heartbreak and with relationships, human behavior, and I'm very observational, and then I kind of take my own stories and my stories of people I know around me. So yeah, I suppose so.
It seems like it's kind of like a bit of voyeurism, because people are always very curious about other people's pains and ups and downs. And I mean, Adele's album is all about relationships, good and bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of. You put yourself out there. You're really exposing a piece of who you are. Yes,
I suppose I don't think about that. I realise that a lot of my stuff is quite explicit and quite kind of. I mean, it can be very kind of heart-wrenching because I really put everything out there. But I suppose I don't think about that. I just kind of do it without thinking of the consequences of people knowing so much about me. But
right. And do these guys know that there are songs written about them?
Hopefully not. Like, I would rather they didn't know. But I think the first song that I wrote when I was 15 that was about this guy, I hope he never finds out, because that wouldn't be a good thing.
We're talking with Ellie Goulding here on The Voice of America. You played Glastonbury, which is...
I played Glastonbury. We played Glastonbury. Last year. This year we kind of, I guess, because it was kind of coming to the end of the campaign, we did like a few festivals, but we had, like, compared to last year, we've had a really nice, relaxed summer. We've done like a few really good festivals, headlined a few festivals. But last year was actually just crazy. We were doing, I think we did like 30 festivals or something ridiculous, and we took off from Glastonbury straight to Switzerland and did a festival there, and then we were touring Europe, and it was a mad year last year.
What's Pukkelpop?
Pukkelpop, that's a German festival.
Is it?
Yeah.
Pukkelpop.
Is it Dutch? Really?
Pukkelpop. The
No,
Pukkelpop Festival?
No, really?
Belgium.
Was it
European.
Somewhere over there.
A European
across
festival.
the pond.
I thought it was Germany.
It's definitely not Germany. It's Belgium, I think.
Oh,
And you
there
played
go then.
Spain and so many places around the world.
We did. We did a terrible gig in Spain, actually. The only time we went to Spain was when we supported Baby Shambles, and it was a shambles. It was awful. But, I mean, we were the wrong support for an indie band. But, we tried our best. And
I'm sure.
that's all you can do.
And you're coming back for the V Festival here in the U.S.?
Yes, I'm really excited about that one, because last year, for some reason, that was like one of the best ones. And like when we went out, we didn't expect that kind of reaction. And and so we're playing main stage this year, and yeah, we've got that to look forward to.
Now, how does Ellie Goulding go about being the only artist invited to perform live at the wedding ceremony of Prince William? And
How does she go about it?
How do you go about it exactly?
Well, I'm. These guys probably know that I don't get excited about much. I just, I go along with things. But obviously, when I found out that, it was even I was excited about that.
Did you get a special hat for the occasion? Everybody seemed to have a hat.
I didn't actually. I didn't get a hat.
No hats.
I got a nice dress.
I'll bet. And you sang my song, the Elton John, or your song.
Yeah.
So why did you sing your song, Elton John? Why would you pick an Elton John song to cover?
I didn't pick it.
Oh, they picked it?
Yeah.
Oh. So they came to you and asked you to sing a
I'm
song.
not allowed to talk about it.
Oh, you're not allowed to talk about it. No. All right, we won't tell anybody. It's just between us.
All right, it's just between us two. Right.
Just between us. You can't talk about it.
No, I didn't choose any of the songs.
They did. Well, that's all we're getting out of that. All right, confidential, on the QT. Ellie Goulding is our guest here on The Voice of America, and I imagine people can go to your website if they want to get your album around the world.
Yeah, like website, iTunes, I guess, now here. But then also the difference between my album and playing live is quite big for some reason. I don't know why. Like for some reason, live we just have this other level of energy. So I would persuade people to come and see me live as well.
Any chance of a live album?
I would love to do that. Maybe if I get a chance, I'd love to do a live album. I don't know. I'll think about it.
And I know you put out your second EP. You're working on that too.
I've started writing for my second record in the UK. I don't know when the second record will be out here, but I guess this one is kind of out here now. Whereas the other one was out. I think it's been in the charts like 64 weeks. 60 weeks,
wow.
60-something weeks.
They pull you in a lot of directions. I mean, you've got EPs, albums, re-releases of albums.
Of stuff. Well, I actually, because I'm a big runner, I released a running album of songs that were kind of specifically designed for runners. So it was like a remix album, Run Into the Light it was called.
And I read that you run about 6 miles a day.
Not anymore.
Not
anymore. I did genuinely used to run 6 miles a day. And once you get into the rhythm of it, your body, muscle memory, your body's just like, okay, fine. So you get used to it, and I guess that's how runners, professional runners, become professional runners, because they just keep practicing.
Sure.
But then when I became busy, I had to stop, and now I run just as much as I can. So one day it might be 4 miles, next day it might be 6 miles, 2 miles, whatever I can do.
Now, would you going back to the songwriting that you do? I'm curious to know, because you write a lot of songs. How do you pick the 12 songs you're going to put on your album? Because this is an important album for you, and many songs. It must be a difficult choice to say I got to narrow down hundreds of songs to 12.
No,
wasn't hard. Huh?
No, every song I wrote any song I'd written in the last few years made it onto the record. I think because if I make a song that I don't think is presentable, it gets scrapped after about 2 minutes of me starting it. So anything that I did want on the record, I really put a lot into. So that's why it actually wasn't that hard.
And you have a lot of control in your what you're doing, the music, the song.
Yeah, I do. I think that's why that things have worked so well for me, is because I've got a really great team around me. I've got people who are really just wanting me to present myself as true to myself as possible, which is I started off as a singer-songwriter playing guitar, and I think that freedom has allowed me to make my record and allowed it to do well, because there's no one interfered in a negative way.
That's wonderful. If I could ask you to do another song, that would be great.
Yeah, well, we'd quite like to do your song.
That's wonderful.
Chris is going to get on the old piano.
A little switch, a little staging.
I told you, he plays everything. It's really annoying. He plays literally everything and sings a wee bit. See? He's modest.
Modest, yeah.
Well, Max does as well, actually, to be fair. I'm lucky to have such a clever
And when you're
band.
on tour, you have a full band, or is it an acoustic show? Or
We have big full band. In the UK, we have my lovely backing singers, Hannah and Kate. We have the Raven Quartet. They're 4 beautiful string players, and they come play with us. My drummer, Joe, he is in DC, but I don't know where he is.
Bed.
In bed, probably, yeah. And so that's kind of us, but there's just the 4 of us over here.
Okay.
So
Because when I saw you on Saturday Night Live, it was the whole band.
Yes. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, but Joe was also a phenomenal drummer. I'm lucky to have him as well. But he's not a morning person, is he? Really?
All right, here's Ellie Goulding and your song.
It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do. You see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is a song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is. Now you're in the world. If I was a sculptor, but then again no, or a girl who makes potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is a song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is. Now you're in the world.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Got chills up and down my spine. Absolutely beautiful. Ellie Goulding, who's here on the Voice of America. Did Sir Elton John comment on your performance?
Luckily, he's a fan. Yeah, he likes it. He gave me like a shout out when he did a gig,
Yeah.
which is it's very rare that you get a shout out from Sir Elton John. So I'm happy with that.
I thought he was at the wedding, too. Wasn't he there?
He was at the wedding. He wasn't at the reception.
Not the reception. Did Prince William and Catherine say anything to you? Do they talk
Oh
to
yeah,
you
we
regularly?
met
Your
like
friends,
we
your
met like a year
chums?
ago, and they are awesome. They're just an awesome couple.
Well,
like
that's
so
wonderful.
happy for them.
To be the selected choice for their wedding, a very special occasion. So you're going to play a part in their lives forever. But Ellie Goulding is our guest, and love your music, love the new CD Lights, and I hope that you continue to have all the great success in the U.S. that you've had in the U.K.
Thank you. I hope so. Yeah, I mean, as long as I can keep coming over here and performing, then I'm happy.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take for you to make yourself accessible to the people. And I know they love you when they see you and hear you. So that's wonderful. Ellie Goulding on the Voice of America. She's in town for just a short while. How long are you here in the U.S. at this time?
Well, we leave tonight and then we go to Boston.
Philadelphia, I think.
Oh, Philadelphia.
See, artists never know. They just get pointed in a direction and they go.
There's a sheet with time.
Well, the
That's
thing
it.
is,
That's
like, the thing
locations.
is,
It's all the same.
It's such a big kind of tour that
Mm-hmm.
as long as we're in the right place at the right time, we perform 100%, and that's that.
They point you, and that's
I
it.
think
Now,
it's
when,
Yeah.
Boston.
when you
Okay, it's Boston.
Boston,
Okay,
well,
fine.
Boston, Philadelphia, it's all the same along the East Coast. So, how about the website again, so that people can go and check out if you're going to do touring, internationally, people can come see you.
I think it's just elliegoulding.com. I might be wrong, but I think that's the latest
That's
one.
the one.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
EllieGoulding.com.
It's as easy as that. Yeah.
All
And then
right.
my Twitter is at Ellie Goulding, so follow me if you want to.
Do you
I'm
respond
not very
that?
interesting. I sometimes my tweets can be really interesting, and sometimes they're really mundane and boring. So yeah.
Now, is somebody from England? I mean, what do you think of the X Factor show and that kind of thing? Because here in America, we're about to see X Factor. Simon Cowell for the first time, in the fall this year.
Isn't X Factor just basically
It's like an American Idol type
yeah,
thing, yeah. So
same
it's
thing,
another
kind
music
of.
contest show. What does an
Yeah.
artist think about these music contest show? Do you think that they're opportunity, they're good, or do you think they're exploitive, or
Well, my view is that we've got some really amazing musicians out of it. Leona Lewis is one of the best singers in the world, and she was on X Factor. Although it could be argued that she would have found success without it, but I don't know. But it's a good TV show. Like I've watched it before. I don't watch it very often. I think I think it. But there's kind of a thin line because it's a talent competition, but it's also like just a TV show for entertainment.
Right,
So
right.
I think a lot of things sway to the entertainment side. But that's all I'll say. I watched it occasionally.
do you? All right. Well,
Yeah.
you've admitted it on record. All right. And one other thing is, with all the things you've accomplished, the awards, the accolades, the record sales, and all the success that you had, I think Rolling Stone magazine named you, one of the hot list artists, so everybody's got their eye on you, and you're really hot right now, hot to look at and hot listening to as well. So, I mean,
I made an effort today.
well, you look beautiful. What's been the highlight for you so far?
There's been several. I think there's been a few. You don't use the word several, do you?
Yeah, several.
Oh, yeah,
It's
several.
appropriate.
There's been a few. Like Glastonbury was one. It was like a sort of a turning point in my career because I saw this confidence just came out of nowhere, and before that, I was quite shy on stage. And then we did Glastonbury, and we just had it, and we put on a really good show. And then I think there's been a lot of things. Obviously playing at the Royal Wedding, and there's just been really special gigs, really shows. It's mainly like the live thing, which has been, and obviously SNL. But there's been so many that it's been a mad.
And
couple
getting
of
the
years.
Brit Award, I'm sure that.
Yeah, that was a good moment. Like I used to watch it on TV, and I mean every year it was like a religious thing for my family to watch, and to be up there, it was just very bizarre. It's changed a lot now, the Brits. It just keeps changing.
But the Critics' Choice Award is that's the biggie. So.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
She's modest.
Yeah, it was nice to have that. The support. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ellie Goulding, for coming in.
Thanks for
Appreciate
having
it.
us.
Very nice to meet you, and nice to meet the guys, and
to meet
have a
you.
chance to hear the music live in the studios. And again, the album is called Lights, elliegoulding.com, and you can get a copy of the CD, Amazon, iTunes, wherever
Yeah,
CDs are sold.
everywhere.
So, and keep checking her out because she'll be on tour around the world, and if she hasn't been where you live, she probably will be there eventually. So thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
This is The Voice of America. I'm Larry London. Stay tuned. There's more music coming your way.